going to start a new chapter, chapter 15. This is dealing with drug dependence. We already did, found out a lot of information in chapter 14 about different types of drugs and dependency on alcohol, tobacco, over-the-counter and prescription drugs we learned about. We learned about hallucinogens and narcotics and stimulants and depressants. Okay, so now we're going to take it one step further. We're going to talk about what happens when you become dependent on these type of things and what can you do about it, how it affects your life, how it affects society in general, and how it affects you with your family. So that's chapter 15. Our essential question is, what are the physical and psychological problems of drug dependency and how does it affect the family? That's our essential question for this week. Physical. What does physical mean? When we talk about physical dependency, what do you think that means? Anybody know? What is being physical?
Moving around.
Moving around. Very good, Randall. It's moving around. So if it's moving around, it's your what?
Body.
Your body, right? So it's physical dependency is how it affects us physically or how it affects our body. What's psychological?
Our mind.
Your mind, right? Remember we talked about psycho being anything with psycho in it has to do with our mind. So psychological, how it affects our mind and how we become dependent physically. Our body can't not have that substance in us without us going through, what's the word that we learned? Withdrawal. Very good, Randall. So, and psychologically, we think we need it. Those are the two things that we're going to deal with. All right. One of the only vocabulary word for this particular lesson is enabling. Does anybody know what that word means?
Cut it on.
Say it again, Randall.
Cut it on. Turning it on.
Turning it on?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
No. Enabling. What if I say to you, I am going to enable you to take drugs by giving you money? Give me a sense. I'm helping, yeah. I'm helping you by oh, come on, just take a hit. Right? Okay, that's pressure. I'm making pressure on you. So, money, giving you money, being your supplier, peer pressure, anything else can we think of that might be help enable someone? How do you think a parent could enable a kid to do it without even realizing that they're doing it? Traits. Yeah, it could be a hereditary trait, right? What else? Can you think of anything that they wouldn't even realize they're doing? Maybe emotionally? So if you don't stop or don't say anything to them, that's letting them basically get away with it. And once you let them get away with it, they think, oh, I got away with it this time. I'm okay today. You want to read the objective up in the book, top of the book?
Yeah. After reading this lesson, you should be able to explain psychic and physical and psychological drug dependence.
Okay, so you should be able to explain what it is. The second one, anybody want to?
Drug dependence causes society.
Yeah, we're going to explain how it affects society and how it costs us. Remember about all that stuff we learned about taxes and math? Okay, that's paying for people who may be on drugs and how to get them off. Those programs are usually paid by tax money that you pay in. So it does cost society. When you become dependent on a drug and you have to get cured or you need medical attention and you don't have insurance, the people pay. We the people pay. All right. People started realizing that doing marijuana was riskier than they had thought in the past. Because when I was a kid, when I was your age, you know, everything was dangerous, but marijuana wasn't too bad. You know, if you smoked marijuana, nothing really bad would happen. There was no psychological dependency. They always told us that was the one drug there was no psychological dependency towards. You could stop it whenever you wanted to, kind of a thing. You were going to get that addicted to it. So, and when they have found out over the years that's not necessarily true. It's maybe not as addicting as some other drugs, but it's still does have an addicting effect on you. So as we learn more information, because now people who started smoking marijuana in the 60s, which is when it started to become more prevalent, now we've had 20 or 30 years to study it. Back in the 60s and 70s, it was a new thing. So over the years they've been able to study it, they realize there's a greater risk, and as that information trickles down to the teenagers, less people are doing it, which is good, you know. We don't need a society of people dependent on drugs. Yeah, Manuel? You didn't get one, Manuel? I thought you gave you one. Didn't you get one on Friday?
No.
Okay, there you go. All right. We'll start our outline. What we're going to do is we'll read through each paragraph, and we'll see where we can find